Alright, what's going on, guys? This is the second Nightwire we've had for Cyberpunk, and I'm pretty hyped for it. I've changed a couple of things around in OBS just to try and make it look a little bit more coherent, but it's fucking 30 degrees in England, which is unheard of, and I'm sweating my bollocks off, so I apologize for being a sweaty, bearded mess, but we're going to jump into it and hope that they have something a little bit better than the last Nightwire to show, but still, I'm excited. Let's get into it. Catch you. Words can't describe how excited I am for this game.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Night City Wire. This is the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into Life Pass and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team.
Cool.
Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused are bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City.
Nice.
So let's get started. Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo? Which will you pick first?
Gotta be Street Kid, right? Work your way up. They're putting so much attention into the sound design for this game. Even the trailers, man.
Well, who do we have here? Grew up in Haywood. Whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
I'm pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories.
Looks so good, man.
Buildings, running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip. Motherfucker. Got everybody fighting for
Street races.
Get the
Nice.
fuck out of
Cool
this
little
town.
touch.
Keep getting jumped. You find some stronger choopers.
What was that? You see the big guy with the hammer?
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs?
Street fights, like.
Or become
Oh shit!
overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
I'm already more excited for this trailer than I was the last one.
Yeah, come on.
Nomad.
My childhood.
This is like a rebel.
Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills.
Oh, this area looks so sick, man. It reminds me of the
First kiss in the middle
GTA,
of a synth cornfield.
like desert area. Makes it a
We
little bit Red
nomads
Dead
choose who to make our family.
and Mad
That
Max.
choice forges strong bonds and a higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
My family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast.
A lot of
among
backstory, man.
outcasts.
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know. I saw it in your heart the first time we met. Know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City. Corp's got their grubby claws and everything.
The gameplay looks sick, dude.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No! I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V. But no way you're fucked, right?
So this is the big bad boss.
You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
Wow. Who the
It's the rules,
fuck?
Jack. Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is. And you're the pendejo who keeps him there. Work for yourself.
This game is so melee. I'm trying to keep up with all like the different
That's the only
factions.
way.
That's cool. Do we get to see the third one? Did I miss something?
Philip, it is so good to see you again. It's actually been a while since I've...
I mean, that looks really, really cool. So far, the nomads, I'm really sort of being drawn to them because they're like the underdogs. They want to escape. They want to get the freedom. But I'm curious, did we see the third one? Or did I miss that? I don't know.
Had a chance to interview you about Cyberpunk. So I think for today, we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
How does the path you pick affect your time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the street kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities. I wonder if it affects the difficulty later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City that we call the Badlands actually value their family above anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind, and now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to make a new life there.
Nice.
Then you can also choose to actually be a corpo and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside a boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many...
So I'm guessing that all the best gear is going to be the third faction, the third guy, the guys in the office and whatever. So you probably start off with the best gear with them, but that's probably going to be a more linear path, right? You got to take over the other corporate entities, whereas the nomads, I don't know, I'm really being drawn to that
nice
more than anything else at the moment.
So this isn't just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah. So the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options in dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport, and the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation.
That's nice. You get so many different perspectives. And I get that it's just a different way of being able to experience the game, but there seems like with the amount of layers they're putting in, and they said if you choose Nomad, you distance yourself from your family. So I'm guessing that's going to kind of come and haunt you later on in the game, which is going to be an interesting thing to see. I love the amount of detail and layers that they're putting in just to the factions, let alone the actual story.
As a street kid, we, as an example, don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later, when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip,
cool.
I do have a couple of extra questions for you based on the video.
I want all of her merch.
And the first
the chair,
is about
the jacket,
nomads.
the bag.
So the Nomad life path, this starts in a place called the Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick Nomad to start with?
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded...
Imagine if they were like, yeah, so if you're not a nomad, you will never get to see this massive, vast wasteland. Can you imagine people's reaction to that? That'd be fucking like Spider-Man and the Avengers all over again.
...by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands. And you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the Nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon. And we want to give you the option later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. Thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands.
So there's not going to be a massive open world straight from the get-go?
Many wars in the past, there's global warming, so most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle-hardened. We of course also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
So Philip, can you tell us a little bit more about the character Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video. Who is this man?
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, V, cyberpunks. Fixers
I feel like he's
are very
a low-level
territorial.
fixer.
So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers, who is called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city. So specifically Padre, you might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him, because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
So what happens if you actually, say you had one playthrough, right? And you became really good mates with one of the characters, and then you decided to have a second playthrough. Are you going to have to kill somebody who you know is a good person later on in the game? Are you going to have to take out somebody that you know is actually fucking decent, but it's part of your mission, part of your story? That's going to be a mindfuck for a lot of people.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us. Now, on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet. Don't forget,
she got the right
in
choice.
This episode, we're going to be showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. But before that, let's talk about music, because music plays a huge part in bringing Night City to life. Now, in future episodes, we're going to talk about things like radio stations and even the original score. But today, we're going to take a look behind the scenes at how Refuse to bringing Johnny Silverhand's band.
I'm scared. Am I gonna get demonetized for this bit? Well, I'm not even monetized. I have like 30 subscribers, but still.
For myself.
Please do not give me a copyright strike.
So it's kind of interesting to get into like the mindset of who is this character and what would they write about, or what's their agenda. It's interesting to try to like, catch a language that's his.
Here we go.
Try to catch a language that's like part of this game.
Nice. Finally get to know more about his role in it. At last.
There is a reason why we're here.
Stockholm.
It was Piotr maybe who was a fan of the band.
He knew
Sweden.
And he knew my voice.
PewDiePie is in Cyberpunk. For big reveal.
And that they wanted, I guess, a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band, because he's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
Gonna drag a corporal rat on stage, make him kneel, douse him with gas, and light him up.
So of course there are things that you can relate to, and like just like this outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals, and that's definitely something that's been a part of my life and a part of Refuse life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of us, you know? So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs.
Kind of zoning out at this point, but
it's pretty cool.
I'm really interested in the original score, but I'd rather listen to it than watch a documentary. How many keyboards do you need, though?
And then, I mean, just sort of build, I mean, slowly build sort of intensity.
We don't have a different mode than just going all in. So we really work on these songs, trying to make them as good as possible. But then they're not actually our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician, because that's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refused, we're here as Samurai. And I'm here with Johnny Silverhand, you know? So it's like the voice we're representing here is someone else.
We'll never fade away!
It's a
Calm down, it's okay.
A mind fuck.
Take a deep breath. AKG, a little bit of a sponsorship kind of thing there.
I mean, the shouting in itself is just like second nature to me, because I've been doing this for a very long time. But then when
those
someone
rings
comes
don't
in
look
and
comfortable.
says,
I'm happy with everything except for Azalin. Again, it's Azza. Azza. Okay.
the shouting's great, but think of that accent, or think of that like enunciation. It's a bit weird because it's a very different way of singing when you're screaming like that, and it's hard to sort of
swallowing some syllables there.
Adjust your accent.
Do you reckon I could do screamo?
Oh yeah, just try it again.
I could try.
It's been a bit.
It wasn't.
Just do that in the middle of a fucking stream one day. Just scare the shit out of everybody.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, we have to maintain the illusion that this character that's a character of the game also is me. Like when I'm singing.
So I wonder if
it
you
makes sense.
You can probably customize yourself to look like Keanu, but I mean, is he going to be part of the main story? Or is he just going to be like a side character?
Thumbs up, and now, like, you know, you think the things like the rhythm, and you think about the pitch, and you think about all these things.
How cool would it be running around taking people out next to Keanu?
Weird. I'm like, what?
That'd
No,
be sick.
That's how I sing. But so it's been a very a bit painful at times, but it's all right.
See this soon, I'm chipping in. Roll the bones, I'm chipping in. Belt that cone, I'm chipping in.
I'm a big fan of pretty much every genre of music, but can you imagine being the guy sitting there trying to edit the song and having to listen to that all day, every day? Like, I can fuck with fucking MCR. I can fuck with I keep wanting to say Skrillex, not Skrillex. I used to listen to some rock and that kind of shit. It's never been a big genre for me, but like, can you imagine being the editor for that? The guy's got a star, man. I give him that much.
It's a very interesting thing to be part of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have. If people like these songs,
oh, you gonna be surprised, son.
Then that's gonna be great. I mean, we are spending a lot of times
when you get a big check through the mail,
get it to sound like you
just know that'd be why.
would sound, you know. So
Boost the brightness
quite
on the webcam.
a very different way of making music, actually.
It's so fucking bright outside now. November 19th.
You can already find 3 Samurai tracks.
16 days after my birthday.
Chipping In, Never Fade Away, and The Ballad of Buck Ravers. But we're excited to announce a 4th new song called A Like Supreme, which is coming to streaming services today. That means you can check it out when the show is over. Don't forget that if you're tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
These animations are sick. Have you seen the Instagram page for Cyberpunk? It's fucking beautiful. Everything is so perfectly laid out, meticulously detailed.
I have a job for you.
Like the game.
A client of mine is making
an arms deal.
He needs protection. It could get hot, very hot, The gun dealers on Maelstrom.
She talking dirty, don't she?
Alas, nothing
Hey,
ever
mama.
transpires as planned with them. You better gear up for this.
I'm eyeing up that katana on the wall, man. I'm looking at her. Whoa. That is some crazy customization. Is it going to be like Warzone where you can customize every fucking part of the gun? Oi, do you see that limb damage? That just vaporized. Power weapons. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. Hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pause, please. Cyberware, melee weapons, smart weapons, power weapons, tech weapons, throwables, weapon mods, and attachments. Nice. Decent variety. Okay. It's slaughtering time. Limb damage seems to be a massive thing. Legs are just popping off everywhere. Oh, a little tracer bullets. Nice. Wee, that was naughty. You missed the guy standing up slightly above him, but that's fine. Thermal katana. I don't see any thermal effects, but it looks cool. Ooh. Jesus. Gorilla arm. Yo. The variety. Look at all these. Shit.
So, V, are you willing?
Oi, I am gassed.
Yeah, I'm in.
This looks sick. I am fucking in. That looks so good, man.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me. Now,
Hey,
there
that
was
was wicked. That is the most intriguing thing I've seen about this game so far.
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have range weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive cyberware, armor. We could talk for hours and hours about this.
Please do.
I think just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have three distinct types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall. Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there. Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time.
That'd be sick on
so
a sniper
you can hit
rifle.
somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
See, the thing is, all of these guns make you so fucking overpowered. Like, I've never seen anything really like this in a video game before. All these different mechanics. So what happens if the enemy has these weapons and they're using it against you? Like, that's going to be a big fucking challenge. And also, like, boss battles? Is that going to make it too easy?
So Pavel, Cyberpunk doesn't just contain FPS elements, right? It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG elements into gunplay?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly. It wasn't easy to merge those two elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that
those
reload
Mantis
times
Blades,
become
dude.
shorter,
Dishing
the
up dinner.
accuracy of your weapons grows, you will
So you
have
missed that guy,
faster
right
aiming
there.
time, you will move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
Hang on. I wasn't paying attention to that. Let me just take it back 20 seconds.
You will have faster aiming time. So they will see that reload times become shorter, the accuracy of your weapons grows, You will have faster aiming time, you will move faster with your weapons.
Are these just
Everything
upgradable perks, like in Far Cry?
more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I have prepared a few extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Really want one of those chairs.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you...
For anybody from Cyberpunk who's watching this, please. It will be in every single one of my videos for the next 3 years. I promise you, it's worth it. It's a good investment.
How do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons. You can, of course, buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary. And as they go in rarity, they actually climb in power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually... I
remember Alana Pearce when she made a review video for the initial, I think it was the initial Nightwire, or when she got to play the game out. Either way, she made a video, and there was a sniper rifle you could get that like you could shoot through walls to be able to take out the enemies, and I think they also had tracer rounds. So I'm guessing that was a legendary weapon, and that would be sick to be able to see, but again, overpowered. I don't want the game to be too easy when you get all this shit though.
Need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk about weapon modifications. What mods can people give to their weapons in Night City?
So we have two types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, right? And they actually change the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds, to tear through that armor even faster.
Just don't make it really easy to get all this shit.
Why don't you tell
make it a fucking challenge.
Weapon, then? Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one.
Katana.
But I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore.
That's
the first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also like a close quarters approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now that thing is cast from pure steel and it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Jesus. Another shotgun that I absolutely love.
Hang on, go back like 5 seconds. Look at the amount of enemies here. I can't play it frame. Oh, I can play it frame by frame. Hang on, where is it? Look at all these guys. All coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got more over there on the left.
Another shotgun that I absolutely love. It's for a more refined approach, I would say. Is a smart shotgun, Kang Tao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels, and that means it can track 8 targets independently. Now, killing an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they
You played the game, don't even lie.
Before we end episode 2, this is a reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into the lore can now pick up The World of Cyberpunk 2077. This is a brand new book created in collaboration with Dark Horse Books that will give you an extensive look at what makes Night City tick before jumping into the game this November. that is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
Oh, mate, that's looking juicy. Oh, man. Look at this. That's kind of cool. So, I mean, there's not much I can say besides what you guys have already seen, but it's just that the gunplay, that got me fucking hyped. That looks so good. The variety, the customization between every single type of weapon, really interesting. I want to see more melee weapons because we haven't really seen many of those. But I mean, just as they were going through it all, man, where is it? I mean, the music bit, I was kind of... Some people were into that shit, but I would prefer just to listen to the whole OST rather than a documentary about how it was made. Going through here, like, Nomad's definitely going to be my first choice. And yeah, so let's just have a look at the gunplay one more time, because that was just... It was insane, man. It just looks so clean. This thing looks awesome. Hang on, let's have a look. I want to read the captions. The purest essence of a katana, no add-ons, no modifications, only ripping hot steel. Decent. So I'm guessing like some of the melee weapons you're not really going to be able to customize all that much. That handle doesn't look very comfortable to hold, FYI. But I mean, yeah, it looks fucking cool. The gameplay of it looks fun. I feel like it doesn't behave any different than a normal katana would though. Maybe the modifications are just more hard. These look so sick. Hang on, let me read the little blurb. See what it says about it. Hang on, look at that. A mono wire. Gorilla arms. Projectile launch. So that's where you've got like little missiles. I think we saw that in the previous Night Wire. The monowire, I wonder what that is. Is that like a stealthy kind of wrap it around the neck and choke him to death kind of thing? So this one here, the Mantis Blades, modular design with swappable blade edges. Ooh, okay. I'm guessing some kind of poison or paralysis kind of thing. Arm blades designed with lethality and concealment in mind, as effective as they are flashy. So this is going to be really good for like stealth missions and stuff like that. Look at that shred. Outfitted with kinetic energy recovery system, so you hit somebody and then it heals your health, I'm guessing. Classic and reliable replacements for natural limbs, improving both strength and endurance. Do you need the gorilla arm things to be able to like carry heavier weapons? That'd be kind of a cool mechanic. Projectile launch system, varied warhead selection. Ugh. A missile launcher in the palm of your hand, more or less literally. That's so sick.
Are you willing?
Yeah, I'm in.
It just looks so good, man. Ultimately, I'm hyped. It's weird. At this point, I thought the hype would kind of just stagnate. And it would be like, okay, well, we got to wait till November. Nah. It just keeps growing. It just keeps getting bigger. And I can't wait for this fucking game. And it comes out a couple of days after my birthday. So I'm just... that little book as well. Actually really interesting. So I'm probably going to have a look at ordering that. Please make it available on Amazon. Alright, I love you guys. Thank you for coming along to the reaction video. Let me know in the comments down below what you're feeling about this Night Wire. Ultimately, this is 100 times better than the last one when we got to look into the dream stuff, which I was like, cool mechanic, that's it. But yeah, I'm just, the hype is growing. And as soon as this game comes out, there's going to be content after content. So make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be doing a full Let's Play. It's going to be an awesome series. And in the meantime, we're doing 2 regular series and a bunch of content like this. So stick around. I love your faces. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Also, Cyberpunk, please send me one of those chairs. Please.